Well, very good afternoon. I was fine travelling to Wrexham, but in the last hour or so, even my stomach is starting to have butterflies. It's an extraordinary atmosphere here at the racecourse. It's open at the one end, of course. The Cop is now a car park, but nevertheless, the noise is absolutely deafening. 10,000 here, including the Hollywood owners, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. They're perched up on the far side to us, and it's an expectation that the non-league scene has really, if ever, experienced. Just wait until you hear this noise as the two teams take to the racecourse pitch. Make no mistake, it won't come any bigger than this one today, as the referee Scott Tallis leads out the two sides. They line up facing us. Wrexham have Ben Foster in goal, Crosserback, Owen O'Connell, Ben Tozer. Tom O'Connor slipped into the left centre-back role because Jordan Tunnicliffe suffered a back injury in training yesterday. Shame for him. Ryan Barner and Jacob Mendy, the wing-backs. Andy Cannon, James Jones behind this formidable strike force. Elliot Lee, and in front of him, Ollie Palmer in for Sam Dolby, and the one and only Paul Mullen. 34 league goals for him, 43 league and cup goals. But on the other side, there's a marksman with 41 in 41, and that is Macaulay Langstaff. He leads the side, which shows a few changes. Sam Slocum comes back into goal. Then across the back is Geraldo Bajrami, Conor Rawlinson, Wrexham-born defender, and Carl Cameron. Adam Chickson and Aaron Naman are the wing-backs. Matty Palmer and John Bostock will be behind James O'Brien. Ruben Rodriguez, who sat out the Wealdstone win on Friday, just to rest for this game. He's their creator, and he creates for the National League record goal scorer Macaulay Langstaff. 41 league goals in 41 league games, and he doesn't take a penalty. It's astonishing, Andy Morrell.
Yeah, remarkable. I was talking to the Notts boys just before, and to not take any penalties, to not be trusted maybe by the team when you've scored 41 in open play is a ridiculous feat. It's won a game. You're just guaranteed to score goals with him in your team.
So Andy Morrell, the former Wrexham player and manager, knew where the net was himself, by the way. Now there will now be a minute's applause for the Notts County Chief Executive Jason Turner, who passed away just a few weeks ago at the age of only 50. He is well known to fans of Cardiff, Newport, Bath and Plymouth. A lovely man, really affectionately remembered here at the racecourse. Moments ahead of the heat of battle as the top two of the fifth tier clash with each other here on a lovely day in Wrexham. Notts County, white shirts, black socks. Wrexham, red shirts, white shorts. It's not often a non-league fixture gets Easter Monday top billing, let alone global attention. But hey, this is Wrexham, and this is a tussle of the two titans of the 5th tier. The Centurions, they've both got 100 points, go into battle for pole position as the race for automatic promotion enters the final straight, and we are underway with Notts County winning a free kick after about 4 seconds. I don't think I've seen a free kick that early, Andy Morrell.
Yeah, well, it was just played forward. Normally you go back, obviously, to your centre halves and play forward, but they've played it forward into Rodriguez's path, and it's Ollie Palmer just bundled him over.
Ball down the left side for Notts County, looking for Rodriguez. Barnett almost got himself in a tussle, but O'Connell is there, up to Mullen. He goes to ground, didn't take much of a nudge, but he knows how to buy a free kick for Mullen, like all strikers do.
Very clever.
Back to Ben Foster. When he was at home on his podcast until a few weeks ago, little did he expect he'd be in the heat of this battle. Flick on by Mullen. Palmer goes to ground. Not going to be a free kick, that. And it's with Sam Slocum, the Notts County goalkeeper.
But it's already been physical, hasn't it?
It has.
Up against each other, fighting for the ball. Every ball is so crucial.
Shaman Head, O'Connell wins the ball again. Attempted ball forward by Jones, doesn't get anywhere. By Lee, sorry, didn't get anywhere. Up to Palmer on halfway, and Carl Cameron stabs in a foot. He's the left side of the centre backs. Looks like Bajrami is going to play down the middle of those centre backs, and Wrexham-born Connell Rawlinson is on the right. Throwing down the far side. Mullen is thought he was onside. Linesman's flag goes up. What is going to be the key to this game, Andy Morrell? It's easy to say the two strikers, but it's more to it than that, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. Well, both teams are 3-5-2, if you want to call it that. And so I think you've just got to be better than the player playing your position. So if you're the left wing back for Wrexham and you're the right wing back, you've got to be better than him. Simple as that. If you can be that, then and you get 8 of your team being better than their 8, you've got a chance of winning the football match.
O'Brien runs into traffic. Mendy plays the ball down this near side. There's not an empty seat in the house. I thought there was one in front of us just now, but even that's disappeared.
I think it's just somebody small.
Yeah. Extraordinary record of these two clubs. The first time both sides have reached 100 points in the history of the league pyramid. And Notts County are ahead only on goal difference. Header forward, Mendy waited. O'Connor playing in that left-sided centre-back position with Tunnicliffe injured. Heads the ball forward, and there's a back pass for Slocum, who's returned to the team today, having missed the last 3 games. Good header forward. Palmer is onto this. Mullen waits in the middle. Palmer 2 yards from the byline into Mullen. Can't control it first time. Looks to shoot. Lays on the shot. Blocked though. From Andy Cannon. Comes back out to Mendy. Mendy takes on the man. The man makes the tackle. Good tackle as well. And stays in. There was plenty of space then, Andy Morrell.
What a chance. It all comes from just a simple header. We spoke about Notts County playing the high line. When the ball goes forward, they do get up, they leave people offside. But if you get your run right and your timing right, it's a really good header by Tozer. Back in behind, it's Palmer who makes the run. And it looks like it's just started to drizzle as well, which has made the ball just skid on a little bit further than probably Palmer wanted, because he was looking to hit it first time.
Tell me as well about Tom O'Connor having to fill in for Jordan Tunnicliffe at the back.
Yeah, well, I think Tunnicliffe's going to be a big miss, because I really like him as a player. I think since he's come into the team, he's made them look so much more assured. But Tom O'Connor comes in. I thought he was brilliant just before his injury, as in playing in centre of midfield. He gets on the ball, he can make a pass, he's really calm in possession. But slotting in on that left back, he has played it before. and he is really good on the ball, so it does give them a sort of a bit of a different dimension to them when they do have the ball.
Yeah, a point Phil Parkinson made to me before the game, as you heard, saying looks on it as an opportunity. Oh, it's a strong challenge on O'Brien. He felt that one from Andy Cannon. It's going to be aggressive. There's plenty at stake. Ball over the top. Tozer leaves it, and Ben Foster gets his first touch with his hands.
Just looking at the changes, Rob, that both teams have made, and I think Notts County have rested a couple on Friday, but they're more experienced ones. Jim O'Brien coming into the team, Rawlinson coming into the team. They just add that bit of experience in a big game like this. You know, legs and youth can give you a lot of things in games like this, a bit of naivety or whatever it is, but putting in a bit of experience around the lads that have got you joy just gives you that extra little bit of know-how, I suppose, in these big games.
0-0 on BBC Radio Wales, live from the racecourse where Wrexham play Notts County. Second against first in the National League. Only one automatic promotion place, of course. Here's the white-haired Bostock. Is that Mohican he's got there, Bostock? I think it is. As Notts County break down the right-hand side and win the first corner.
Yeah, good play into Ruben Rodriguez's feet, and he's the one that's the creator in this team. Picks a pass, sees runs ahead of him.
Corner taken short on this right side, and it's pumped away by James Jones, who saw that early. Vital for him to hold his ground in that midfield, and he was on defensive alert then. Throw into Notts County. The man tried to nick a few yards, so he's forced back by referee Tallis. Big game for him as well. Macaulay Langstaff touches it inside, falls to Rodriguez. Rodriguez plays it wide out to that far side. Chickson on the ball, back to Rodriguez, crosses into the box, headed away by Tozer. O'Brien follows up. He was under pressure, and his bending shot bent all the way up for a throw-in.
Nice. It was awkward height, wasn't it? And to be fair to O'Connell, he does really well to get out and put the pressure on his shot. Doesn't let him have a moment, and just doesn't quite get it right. It is something that Notts County do and have done for the full season, is that they don't score from many set pieces, corners. They take a lot of them short. They keep the ball. They sometimes go back to the halfway line to suck these defences out, whether that's because they're not that big or there is a reason behind retention, ball retention, and keeping the ball from corners and giving it away.
Here's O'Connor, slides the ball forward for Mendy inside the Notts County half, down the Wrexham left. Elliot Lee has made a darting run forward to the edge of the box, just outside the right tram line. Holds it up, looks for a crossing opportunity, slides it into Mullen. Mullen, who turns his man, has a shot block, heads the ball into the 6-yard area. It's headed out. Mendy was climbing then, but gets away with it. Stockport are 1 up against Newport in League 2. Cleared away by O'Brien, but straight to O'Connell. Cannon now, the Wrexham midfield player. O'Connell in the centre circle, out to O'Connor. Thomas O'Connor lobs it over the top. Mendy's onside, but Slocum in his bright orange kit races out to collect. 8 minutes gone, goalless at the racecourse.
Yeah, nice little play forward by O'Connor. Just chips the ball over the top. Mendy, I think, would have been offside had he got onto it. The linesman give the thumbs up to the referee just to say play on. But good thinking.
Cardiff still goalless with Sunderland. Swansea goalless at Wigan in the Championship. Here on Radio Wales Sport. Neman tries to go through 3 Wrexham players. They soon shut that door. Elliot Lee finds Mullin. Mullin cross field. Has to go back to O'Connor. And then he looks for the run of Palmer. The offside flag is up. Slocum comes out anyway. The ball's going to ricochet off Palmer wide, but quite a few seconds ago, the linesman on the far side had his bright yellow flag up.
That was tight. It was tight. It's close. Good run by Palmer. Took a step towards his own goal before he goes in, which gives the chance for the pass. And I think that's exactly what Wrexham will look for. Deeper runs, past Palmer, maybe past Mullin, into that space behind with Notts County playing such a high line.
Ollie, Ollie is the shout from behind us. A really vocal crowd today, as you would expect. 1,000 have made the trip from Nottinghamshire. Remember, after this game, Wrexham have 4 left, Notts County just 3. Slocum hits it long, looks for the run of O'Brien. O'Connor gets there first, but only heads it a few yards. But it's won back by Cannon. Cannon waits for the run of Palmer, but Palmer was offside, so he didn't play through. And O'Brien scurried back to make a good defensive challenge.
Well, that's Palmer trying to stay on side. He's trying to stay on with his run before he goes in, and he just cannot keep his line, and so Cannon can't play the pass. That's where you need one of your midfielders that's really deep to just run through, because Notts County will be high and stood trying to play offside, and if you can get a deeper runner, that's where you'll get your joy.
It's the team with the best home record against the side with the best away record. It could not be better poised. It's 0-0. O'Brien brings in the man running left from the right hand side. Now the ball is played out to the right side again. Rodriguez was on the ball. Palmer goes to ground, free kick Wrexham. It's a little bit nip and tuck at the moment, Andy Murrell, as you'd expect, with so much at stake.
It is. Well, Notts County have been good in possession. They're very, very tidy. Even in the box when there was a bit of a melee just a couple of minutes ago, they tried to play their way out, which is very courageous, very brave, and it has got them a lot of joy. But they're good in possession. It is making sure that you close those lines so that those passes through to Langstaff, through to Rodriguez, can't be made.
40-year-old Ben Foster. Oh, Mendy left the man on the deck, but he's allowed to carry on, keeps it in on the byline, chips it into the middle. Mullen waits for it. Mullen goes to ground. Theatrically, the Wrexham fans appealed for a penalty. So did he, but he's not going to get that, I don't think. And then it's a little trip, and Mullen still digs. He hasn't heard the whistle. He has to be careful, Paul Mullen. And it's a free kick. I'll get Andy Murrell's view on that in a moment, but let's get the latest from Cardiff City. Mark Poyser.
12.5 minutes gone, 0-0. Either keeper has made any sort of save, but Sunderland having all the possession and territory. Cardiff keeping everyone apart from the front two behind the ball, and frustrating the team in red and white so far, but the playoff chasing side enjoying the better of the opening 13 minutes. It's Cardiff 0, Sunderland 0.
Queen's Park Rangers are 2-0 down at West Bromwich Albion. They're a side that Cardiff are looking to stay above. It's a push on Mullen, I'm told. It should have been a penalty. Radio Rod is keeping an eagle eye on the monitor by Carl Cameron. They've got away with that one then, Andy Murrell.
Well, looking at it from here, it's a great ball to Mendy. Mendy's onside, right down by the byline, and he manages to stand it right up at the back post. And Cameron's facing, he's not even looking at the ball when Mullen's pulled off at the back post. And as he's going to Mullen, he's got both hands on his chest and not knowing where the ball is. You can't do that. You have to know where the ball is. You have to aim to try and get the ball, even if you have got a hand on somebody. So I'm surprised.
Let's hope this game isn't decided by controversy. These two sides deserve better than that. Notts County on the ball again as they play the ball out right to Rodriguez. Curls in the cross. Langstaff looks for it. Foster collects. There's been a goal at Wigan. Bryn Thomas.
We've played 15 minutes here. Swansea have taken the lead. Joel Piro's 16th goal of the season. It was a lovely ball played into the box. Piro was all by himself. Easy, easy, easy. Wigan 0, Swansea 1.
That's more good news for Cardiff. As I said to you, Queen's Park Rangers are 2-0 down. They're above both of those. In fact, Wigan are bottom of the championship. Here at the racecourse at the top of the National League, it's 0-0 in this clash of the Titans, clash of the Centurions. Bostock, remember him in Premier League? He was so highly rated, wasn't he?
Oh,
John
huge,
Bostock.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of before around his move away from Palace, I think it was.
Tottenham and Palace. He was the next big thing, wasn't he, at one stage? Mendy heads away a raking ball forward, little touch in midfield, but Lee is beaten in the tackle, and then O'Connor is beaten as well, but that's done by Rodriguez. who is Portuguese and their playmaker. We haven't seen too much of him on the ball yet.
Just looking at his position here, he's sort of meant to be playing up front with Langstaff. That would probably be his position, but Jim O'Brien seems to be making those runs up towards him. He's out on this right hand side for Notts County, pulling out in a big space, asking questions of Elliot Lee. Does Tom O'Connor go with him? Asking a few questions of the defence.
Yeah, no questions asked by that. Long ball forward by Rawlinson, out for a throw. Let's head to Stockport. Bryn Thomas.
Would have loved.
Oh, Mark Lloyd-Williams.
Stockport County 1, Newport County 0. There's a scoreline here at Edgley Park. Kyle Wotton's 9-minute goal separates the two sides. A wonderful cross for Miles Hippolyte from the right hand side, and a bullet header from 12 yards by Stockport's top scorer. Omar Bogle has had half a chance for County. A strike from 20 yards out, tested the keeper Ben Hinchcliffe, but as it stands, Stockport County in the ascendancy. Stockport 1, Newport County 0.
Thank you, Bryn. Wasn't a great impression of Bryn Thomas, was it, by Mark Lloyd-Williams? But there we are. No, it's Mark Lloyd-Williams. Juice, Cymru Prem legend, alongside Kevin Ratcliffe. And that's on 95.9 FM in the Newport area. It's goalless here at the racecourse. You've missed nothing really, and for once, for the first time almost, it's a bit subdued now, isn't it, Andy Morrell?
Well, after 15 minutes, yeah, it's just settled down a little bit. It's interesting to watch how the Notts County 3 go and press it. They've put Macaulay Langstaff right up against Tozer, and then whenever the ball goes to O'Connell or O'Connor, it's Rodriguez goes and presses it from the midfield position, or it's Bostock goes and presses O'Connell. They're popping out rather than playing just 2 up between the 3.
Yeah,
they're going sort of 3 up when the ball goes on that side of the pitch.
This is Cameron, the left-sided centre-back, on halfway back to Bajrami, who was one of those arrested. He's an Albanian. And this is Rodriguez running across the centre circle from right to left, brings in Cameron, 15-20 yards inside the Wrexham half, picked up by Matty Palmer, curly head midfield player. Rodriguez thought about going past Lee, didn't get there, and then the ball is played forward, looking for the run of Ollie Palmer. He's full of running today, Ollie Palmer, back in the side, hungry, I think, to make an impression, Andy.
Yeah, well, they did it earlier in the season when they left him out for a couple of games and then brought him back for the Dagenham game. He was brilliant, scored 2 himself, and looked really lively. Again, he'll be disappointed to be out of the team, but certainly fresh, ready to go today. Certainly something in the first 15 minutes that I've seen here is that whenever the ball's turned over to Wrexham, they are looking forward to play straight away in behind them, so that to try and spring that offside.
Langstaff gets involved in open play, heads the ball away. Mullen knocks it past one defender, but it's rescued by Bajrami, who took a knock then, but Slocum throws the ball out. This is Bostock operating down that left-hand side alongside Chickson, who is of Chinese descent, but he qualifies for Zimbabwe thanks to his dad. And he's hogging that left touchline.
That's right, 10 goals as well. It's a brilliant return for a wing-back. I was looking at these two teams before. There's 6 players, 138 goals between them.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the records are so impressive, but this game isn't about the records, is it? This is almost to a man and woman. People say it's winner takes all. Lovely touch by Bostock with the outside of his left foot as the ball went past him. He's on the ball now. Oh, he's almost given it away, but he holds up possession under pressure from James Jones. And then it's Bajrami who moves into midfield. Long cross, looking for Naman on this near side, headed away, not too impressively, by Jacob Menn, who's happier going forward than going backwards, you would have to say.
I think that's both wing backs this side.
Yeah.
Mane and Mendy both prefer to attack than defend. And I think the system that you play, if you play 3-5-2, if you've got 2 attacking wing backs, I think that can make the difference. If you're too defensive, you end up being in a 5 and you can't get out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have that attacking mentality to start with and you can play high up the pitch straight away, you're on the front foot straight away as a as too wide high up the pitch.
90 minutes gone on Radio World Sport. Wrexham 0, Notts County 0. Naman midway inside the Wrexham half. Down this near side, Rodriguez bundled over by Palmer, but he keeps controlling her on the deck until his pass away is picked up by James Jones. Oh, Jones loose pass, committed O'Connor. Longstaff tries to get involved. Longstaff goes to ground. He's not going to get a free kick. Referee looks at him. He's writhing on the ground at the moment, and Wrexham have the chance to break against 10. Now Longstaff is up, not getting much sympathy from the home crowd, as you might expect. I think he milked that one a bit, didn't he? Mullen on a run forward. Slocum's out of his area. Charged down by Mullen. Shot for handball. I think it was off the chest though. O'Brien now at the other end. Rodriguez. This time he is brought down by Elliot Lee. Slocum took a chance but had to, with Mullen roving behind.
Well, it's part of your strategy and your philosophy. If you're going to play such a high line, you have to have your keeper up in contact with that back three, just in case, because if it is your out ball is that one over the top, he has to be a sweeper keeper, if you like, and come out, and he did that well, because it was a bouncing ball. It was awkward whether it's hit his hand or not. He did really well to get a foot on it, and Mullen again just bearing down on him with a bit of pace.
Queen's Park Rangers pull one back against West Brom. 2-1 there as Bajrami heads forward, sides it left to Rodriguez. He gives her the ball away. Long ball forward looking for Mullen. Mullen collects it on halfway, then turns against O'Brien. Looks at Palmer with a crossfield ball. Ricochets out for a throw in. Mendy wants the ball quickly to take it. Plays it back to Lee. 10 yards inside the Notts County half. They go back to Ben Tozer, the Wrexham captain, wearing the green armband. Square to O'Connor on halfway. Now Lee is just inside the Notts County half. Shot for offside and give it against Paul Mullen.
Well, it's looking right the way along the line. Mullen shouldn't really be offside in that situation, but again, your linesman has to be able to stay right in line with it. And when the ball's played, does he actually see it? Hardest job, isn't it, in the linesman? I don't believe you can see both.
You strikers can't understand offside. That's the problem. How many times have you caught off looking along the line? I remember you played Andy Morrell.
Yeah,
you lived
right,
offside.
Yeah, you can
still
separate them.
Leinster back row in rugby. 0-0. Former Wrexham, Coventry, Blackpool and Bury striker Andy Morrell alongside me, and of course he was Wrexham manager here. As Slocum takes the ball out to O'Brien. They do pass the ball. Bossard a little back heel into the path of Cameron. Rodriguez back to O'Brien again, who has to dart out of the centre circle to take it. Ball forward by Palmer to Bostock, gets it back. He's about 20 yards from the corner of the Wrexham penalty here. They intend on going down the left side. Instead they go back to Cameron, who moves forward, shadowed by Palmer. Good defensive work that by Wrexham, forcing the visitors back to halfway and forcing a slip from Geraldo Bajrami out for a throw-in.
Yeah, really good press. Kept the shape well, and then once you have them going, travelling back towards their own goal, that's when you can really put the press on all the players up, take a step up, push them back, and leads to a mistake and played out of play.
Tozer from the throw, thinks about going back to Foster, turns away, 0-0, 23 minutes gone. Mullen is offside again. Sorry, it's not Mullen that time. It's Ryan Barnett offside, the right wing back. Serious chance alongside me, but he's on.
Yeah, you certainly need a screen. We can't be watching. It's tight again, but there's certainly a first thought in any of the centre midfielders' mind that if they get the ball on transition or turnover, to play.
Rodriguez slides the ball in behind Mendy. Naman goes for it, and Mendy does just enough. Sorry, Andy, I wonder whether Naman was going to get there then. Well, they're both rapid, aren't they?
I trusted Mendy. I trusted him. But yeah, they're looking straight away, head up, and the runs of Palmer. Can you run him behind? Mullen, can you run him behind?
I don't understand. Every game I go to these days, there's at least one player with a bandage on his wrist. Oh, Palmer's shirt was up around his chest then, but referee Tallis allows play to go on. Mendy loses it, shout for handball against O'Brien, but he barges through 2 tackles and then blasts the ball against Cannon.
Well, they've got a hold of Ollie Palmer's shirt, haven't they? Rawlinson right up against him, got a hold of his shirt, he can't go anywhere.
Actually, so did Cannon then on Rodriguez as he tried to chase the throw-in. Mullen is offside again. That linesman on the far side is a busy man, and I don't think he's getting many plaudits from the stand here and the stand opposite.
No, that one we are right in line with. So you can see that, yep, for me he's just gone offside, just gone a fraction too early. The thing is about this high line, if the defenders are staying, they aren't ready to run in behind, so you can afford to give yourself a half a yard because your momentum will take you in to that channel.
They're all running with their side and another offside flag. This is getting comical now, although the Wrexham fans don't see the funny side of it. Let's go to Swansea for an update from Bryn Thomas.
Well, we played 27 minutes here at the DW, and you've seen a penalty kick all day long. Jamie Patterson brought down in the box, and the referee, who was within a yard, just indicated to play on. Swansea still leading by a goal to nil. Joel Piro's goal after 14 minutes, but surely they should have had a penalty. But as it is, it's Wigan 0, Swansea 1.
No VAR, but then I'm not sure what penalties are after Brighton against Tottenham on Saturday. Still 0-0 here. And we'll go to Cardiff when we get the chance, but it's all go. This time Palmer is onside, but he's not going to get there. As the ball is threaded through Carl Cameron back to his goalkeeper Sam Slocum. You just feel, Andy Morrell, they're going to get away once.
Well, that's it, and that's the more questions you ask of it. I love the way that they're trying to play forward quickly. If they can, just take a step towards your goal. You'll run, as you're running along the line, if you're running, you tend to just drift into that offside position. If you can take a step towards your own goal, that brings that defence up a little bit, then you can go in.
Yeah.
You'll time your run a little bit better.
2 experienced strikers as well. Ollie Palmer, signed from League One AFC Wimbledon, and of course Paul Mullen, signed having got promotion to League One with Cambridge as the Golden Boot in League Two. Here come Notts County as Naman goes on the outside of Mendy. This time he has got the run on it into the penalty area, can't find a white shirt as he put it across. And Wrexham can break now with Elliot Lee. Struggling to go past Rodriguez. There's a run through the middle though by James Jones, but Lee overhits the pass. Let's go to Cardiff City, Sunderland, Mark Poyser.
0-0, very low quality game because Sunderland are dominating the ball but can't do anything with it. They're playing without a striker, and it shows. Cardiff cannot get out of their own half. 1 corner apiece and only 1 shot on target in the opening 28 minutes. 0-0.
0-0 here. I can't say we've had a shot on target really, have we, Andy? But it's just the atmosphere makes you think it's raucous and there's plenty happening.
Yeah, well, it's just that those offsides are so tight that it just takes one, like you were saying, and they're in. Mullen nearly nicked one, keeper got a toe on it. A couple have just run through to the keeper, just it's tight, you know, they're on that edge.
Nobody wants to make a mistake, do they? They really don't, but they are taking a chance, Notts County, because some of the offsides have been really tight and could have gone either way.
Yeah, high risk, high reward.
Yeah,
but you get your team up the pitch, and you're able then to shorten up the size of the pitch to go and press for your front 6. They can go and press in smaller area than being sat back and really deep.
Football makes a mockery of everything. Mick McCarthy sacked or left Blackpool after the 3-1 defeat to Cardiff at home on Friday, and they're leading 1-0 at Luton. You couldn't make it up, could you? Now that's a good ball. Mullins under this. Paul Mullen through. Goes past the goalkeeper, goes to ground. Referee says no foul.
Well, I think he saw it coming. He definitely saw Slocum coming. Thought he might have gone to lob him first, but he let it drop, tap it past him, and then maybe a contact on him there. I think he might just have pulled out, but we only get to see it once here, unfortunately. We'd love to see it again.
Well, I think it might have been just outside the box anyway, but it would have been a clear goal-scoring opportunity as he was one-on-one with Slocum.
Fabulous ball forward.
And to be fair, Mullen didn't complain too much, did he?
No, he hasn't. It just went over Cameron's head, I think it was, or Barami's head.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect pass, and he's in. Just keep looking for it, keep looking, and don't change. Just keep looking for it. Okay, you might not have all that possession and keep the ball and see the game, but if you can just get it, transition, play forward and score.
Mullen and Rodrigues. Well, Mullen hauled Rodrigues to the ground then.
WWE.
It was. It really was. And there was only a throw-in in the Notts County half. Nothing contentious particularly. Referee Scott Tallis having a word with both of them. It was handbags really, but it's 0-0. We've played half an hour, and for a game where there's been very few shots on goal, there's plenty happening. Mullen is arguing with Rodrigues. Now they're both discussing it with each other. I think they probably agreed to differ on what happened there.
Was Mullen dropping in on the deepest lying midfielder, doing his job for the team.
Langstaff is forced to come out of his striking position to receive the ball. Did just enough for Notts County have it on their left side. Tip forward for Palmer. It's going to be a Notts County throw down that left side by the same linesman who's getting absolutely mullered, and he seems to be making every decision, doesn't he?
He's had a lot of decisions to make, though, to be fair. They're asking a lot of questions of him and this Notts County back three.
The rain is coming down. It's still bright overhead. The floodlights are on, but it's
strange, isn't it?
It's that really wet rain. You know what I mean? It's belting down. Oh, Rodrigues goes past O'Connor then. Pulled his shirt back, pulled him down. That is the first yellow card. I don't think Tom O'Connor can have too many complaints about that.
Well, because Macaulay Langstaff is playing on Tozer in the middle, and it's Bostock and Rodriguez that are just in that hole as like a four across with Palmer and O'Brien. Then they have to they have to make a decision. O'Connor, do I go in and mark him and leave the space behind me, or do I stay in my slot and let him get the ball to feet? It's been evident this first half that O'Connor's really gone tight to him. He's left the space in behind him because they are a playing team, and that time he just got away from him, wriggled away from him, and had to pull him back for a yellow.
They play the ball short of the free kick. Now that's well, I was going to say it was a poor ball from Rawlinson, but Palmer made it a good ball, and here comes Bostock with a blonde Mohican on top of his head, and Chickson is forward down that left side. He's hardly gone back, Chickson. He's like a left winger, isn't he, rather than a left wing back.
Both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
now they move it wide to Naman, the right wing back. Rawlinson has gone forward. Towering figure, Rodrigues, White in the man again. Mendy goes to confront him, level with the Wrexham penalty area. Back to Rodrigues again. He likes everything on his right foot, so he plays it square. Chance to shoot. Shot is pushed away from Carl Cameron, the former Newport County loan player. It was, I'm not sure it was curling in, but Ben Foster could take no chances with that 25-yarder, and it's a corner.
Well, I think it took a deflection. I think his shot with his left foot has tried to bend it in that far corner. It was probably comfortable for Foster, but it's taken a deflection, took it a little bit further away from him, but he's got down well to take a touch round. Yeah, Langstaff just took a nick off his hip, I think, and a good save by Foster. Again, a short corner.
Taken wide on the left, short again, as you said. They played it all the way back to the midfield. Bajrami into the box. Rawlinson stayed forward, can't keep it in. Out for a goal kick. Let's head up to Wigan and find out how Swansea are doing with Bryn Thomas.
We've got 10 minutes to go to the break. It's the 17th goal of the season for Joel Piero. Almost a carbon copy of the first. Lovely ball played through by Fulton, and Joel Piero, first time from the edge of the 6-yard box. Wigan 0, Swansea 2.
Yeah, I think Wigan are going down. Commentary continues on FM and DAB in the southwest. And the Cardiff game is still goalless against Sunderland. Commentary on FM and DAB in the southeast. Newport trailing 1-0 at Stockport. Commentary on 95.9 FM in the Newport area. The rest of you are all listening to Wrexham against Notts County 0-0 after 35 minutes. Andy Morrell, this one really is a nail biter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tense, isn't it? But you know, like you said, without any or much goal-mouth action, it's been
intriguing.
Really good game. Both teams pulling each other around in different ways, from two completely different tactics to the game. One looking to counter-attack early on transitions, the other keeping the ball and asking a lot of questions of the defence.
Good powerful run by Barnett, plays it square to Lee, White and Mendy on the left-hand side. And Palmer's pulled away from his marker. He's got acres of space to cross from the left. Looks for Mullen in the middle. Took a deflection though. Macaulay Langstaff sends Naman away. And it's Naman. He's got an awful lot to do, but he's got pace. He's still going. Mendy tracked him and then he almost fell over the ball. So Bostock gives it back to him. They exchange passes in midfield. Now Wrexham have got plenty of red shirts back as Palmer moves left into Bostock. More central, just in front of the centre circle. Palmer wide on the left side to Chickson. Exchanges passes with the Zimbabwean. Now Cameron joins in, the centre back. They're not afraid to move players forward, are they? Rawlinson went charging forward just now.
Well, that's right. I think O'Brien drops in, can afford the two then. If it's 2v1 at the back, very comfortable in just getting players forward. And if they do break that line, then they've got overloads in all different departments.
0-0. Ball chipped forward to the Wrexham penalty area. Oh, Foster Kane didn't get there. Rodriguez got a nod on. And I don't know what Ben Foster was doing scurrying out there. I really don't. O'Connor was under it and he's left on the deck. Not sure whether Ben Foster took out his own player then.
Yeah, I think he did. I don't think there was any need for him to get involved in it. Very comfortable already. Rodriguez making the run in behind O'Connor. I said that O'Connor was the one that came out to engage Rodriguez when the ball comes to feet. They're both engaged as they're going back and they're comfortable. Tozer or O'Connor can head it away, but Foster decides it's his ball to get involved with. He doesn't need to and sort of gets away with it because it's Rodriguez who gets the touch on it, just can't guide it into the net.
The clock says 36:40 above Ben Foster, who's just taken this goal kick, looking for Palmer. The experienced James O'Brien, no, not the broadcaster, he heads it out for a throw-in. And it's going to be the first Ben Tozer long throw. Mysteriously, a towel has appeared for Tozer, the Wrexham captain. He gets what he wants. Now it's going to have to be one of his longer ones because it's about, I'd say 10-15 yards from the corner of the penalty area. He's grabbed a couple of yards, but it's sailing into that 6-yard box, headed away. Tried to be helped on by O'Brien on the edge of the D, but it's come back to Wrexham. Chipped forward out to this near side. Palmer was going for it, got the nod down, couldn't make anything of it. Then Langstaff heads it forward. Mendy's behind that and decides enough of this, I'll go back to Foster with the back pass. Foster clears left and too strong for Palmer, who I think was onside.
You can see the work that Notts County do because ball's in their box, it's cleared straight away, whole team, bang, 10-yard sprint getting up the pitch, leaves 3 or 4 players in. I remember when I played, it's the worst thing. I've got to run back with them as they're pushing up, and it just catches you off guard. It catches you, and it makes you run where you don't have to. It's a cheap free kick.
Yeah, that did look like a free kick, didn't it? From Cannon. 2 managers. Luke Williams, he's got no hair, he's shaven headed, so he doesn't have to worry about the rain, but he's got a hood, he's not even putting it up and it's still bucketing down. Whereas Phil Parkinson has gone under a bit of cover, having had a quick word with the 4th official. O'Connell wins the header in midfield.
you're running the risk if you go brolly, aren't you? Of,
you
all
are.
sorts that, you know.
The Wally with the brolly.
That's right.
And all that.
McLaren put paid to that.
He did. Palmer, as Bostock wins a challenge, when he was down on the deck, Palmer ambles his way down the left-hand side. Bostock can cross from the right, goes square to O'Brien. Was it a handball by O'Brien? Rodrigues tries to lay it through to O'Brien, but blocked by Tom O'Connor. But then his clearance is blocked first time, gets it away second time, but Palmer doesn't move. But that's a bonus to Wrexham as Rawlinson put it out for a throw. And from the throw, Rawlinson takes out Palmer, who I think is claiming he got stamped on the ground as Rawlinson went by him. Rawlinson is headed off to the penalty area. He's going to come back. He's going to be booked. Andy Morrell.
Yeah, well, it's a mistake by O'Connor. He misses the pass. He gets a second opportunity at it, and it's Rawlinson in comfortable possession, but it comes off his thigh out for a throw in. Mullin onto it quickly, throws it. Ollie Palmer's in down the side of him, and he just runs to block him, blocks him with his shoulder. Palmer, I think, looks like he took one to the face, but I'm sure it was shoulder to shoulder. But it's a blatant yellow, and a really good position for Wrexham to ask questions of this Notts County back three.
Now, can the Wrexham super marksman Paul Mullin make anything of this? It's a free kick. It's a yard from the penalty area, and it's just in from the corner of the left tram line and the penalty area line. So everything is to Paul Mullin's right. There's two in the wall. Slocum is bent to the left of the wall. Paul Mullin with 43 goals this season, 34 in the league. Only Langstaff, who's watching this, is in front of him. Chance to break the deadlock here. Mullin curls it over the top and almost into the cop. That was a disappointment.
The anticipation of it, the opportunity. He hit one like that in the previous home game that hit the crossbar and came out for O'Connell to score, but not this time. Gets it all wrong. I think two-minded, really. Do you go over the wall into the near side, or do you fire it into that corner that the keeper's meant to be covering, and he might take a step?
Happens all the time in my world. Give them a big build-up and they fluff their lines.
That's right.
Mendy, oh, that was clever. And so is that from O'Connor, although he didn't know where he was going, and Bostock has went ahead against O'Connell from the Wrexham penalty area. Barnett pumps it over the top. Mullin's onside, but it's drifting away from him. And Slocum, who starts a good 15-16 yards off his line for every ball over the top. You have to say it for him.
Well, he started that goal kick 3 or 4 yards ahead of Basrami, who took the goal kick, played him past Mullin, and he's the one running up the line to play the channel ball. Very brave.
You can see the way Notts County play that Luke Williams is influenced by Russell Martin at Swansea. He was an assistant to him at MK Dons and at Swansea before branching out on his own. And that's a poor challenge by Mullin on Rodrigues. I think Mullin's going to get a booking for that. He does. Again, I don't think he can have any complaints about that.
Yeah, just a bit late. It was there to win. Ref's got his yellow card out already. Nothing more serious.
It's getting a bit feisty now, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you might expect.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm
there was battles. Yeah. Early on there's battles, it's physical.
Yeah.
You stand up to that. Then it sort of dropped away a little bit, but then a little decision, a half decision against you gets you riled, gets you angry, and off it goes again. It just sparks it, doesn't it?
Rodrigues looks in a bit of pain here. But I suspect he'll get up.
Yeah, Rodriguez picks up brilliant positions in that role that he's asked to play.
He looks a really clever player, doesn't he?
Absolutely, good on the ball as well. But it's O'Connor's, he's made the decision right from the start. I am going all the way in with him, not going to give him any time on the ball to pick his head up, and it's up to Tozer to fill the gap that I leave behind me and O'Connell to come across, because they're only marking Langstaff up the top, so the two of them can cover across, and then up to Barnett on the right hand side to come in and probably take Bostock, who's the one that's going to be furthest forward on that side.
Free kick, Notts County on halfway. 44 minutes on the clock. Free kick chipped down the right side, looking for Namano. Mendy missed it in the end. Namano crosses into the middle. Tozer is there to curl it away. Only as far as Rodriguez. Clever run down the right side, bounces off Mendy. It was O'Brien who first met it, and then he just sent Rodriguez on a little mazy run down the right hand side. Langstaff, who we've hardly mentioned, but that's the way he is, goes short. It's not going to him. The man gets it back. He took the throw on the right. He's pulling it away from Mendy again, trying to tempt him in. Rodriguez goes on a little arcing run down the right side. Good tackle by Lee though, and then Mendy bangs it against the back of Naman, and it's out for a Wrexham goal kick. It's 0-0. We're in the final minute. There'll be some added time. Andy Morrell, your thoughts?
Well, it's so even, isn't it? It's been a compelling first half for me, and I suppose a football fan that looks at the game maybe a little bit differently to the all-embroiled, all-encompassed football fan. But it's great to see the two teams going up against it, the questions that they're asking each other, and the way it's panned out. Both teams giving it a right go.
They are. Toes a ball over the top. Oh, Mullen couldn't control it. I immediately looked at the linesman.
Well, I did as well, and I think he was on.
I think he was.
It was an inch just out of range of his toe.
Slocum. 3 minutes of added time. Good play by O'Connell, strong play. I think Palmer is offside then. I tell you what, I mean, it's been tight a couple of times, but they play it well, Notts County.
They do, they're all on the same sheet, aren't they? Because when you have one that does drop, when the rest don't, you're in all sorts of issues. But your manager, this is drilled in. This isn't something that just happens overnight.
Cardiff Sunderland is goalless at the interval as we welcome listeners in the southeast. And I can tell you that Luton have pegged one back against Blackpool, which will be a help to Cardiff. Blackpool leading 1-0. It's 1-1 there now. It's 0-0 here at Wrexham, and we're into the added 3 minutes of injury time. Notts County throw in their left back position. They made a hash of that, haven't got it away. Wrexham have won it back high. Palmer is offside that time, I'm sure. Heads it down. Referee says, I thought he was going to say play on, but they took it a couple of yards in front. 1 or 2 head into the for the cuppa. Second for Stockport County against Newport. Get the latest from their half time. And here, Slocum has to deal with an awkward back pass, but he does so. Chips it up to halfway. Rodriguez, it's a lovely touch over his shoulder, and then Naman heads it on to O'Brien, and Rodriguez follows up. Rodriguez towards the penalty area, brought down by Jones. Free kick, Notts County. Centre field, about a yard or so from the D.
Well, Mendy is pinned so far high and back in his back five, he just cannot get out to help support O'Connor and that pass into that hole where Rodriguez is playing. And then when he gets on the half turn, he's off and running, isn't he? And I think it's James Jones that comes back to try and nick the ball off him. There's a little push in the back.
Now, Langstaff, their 41 goal top scorer, doesn't take penalties, and I don't think he takes the free kicks either. This Bostock has grabbed he walked there with some intent, but now he's walking off Macaulay Langstaff, and he's going to leave it to John Bostock, the Trinidad and Tobago and England under-19s player many moons ago. He's 30 odd now.
It's a really good position, central, so left or right footer.
It's Bostock, that's O'Brien with him as well, I think, isn't it?
That's right.
The wall, Wrexham's tallest wall. We welcome listeners from the southwest of Swansea 2 up. Crucial moment here. It's 0-0 in injury time, but Notts County have a free kick in a dangerous position. Bostock sizes it up. Ben Foster waits on his line. The wall is a yard inside the penalty area. It's very central, just outside the D. Referee has seen something he doesn't like. The booze will tell you it's a Notts County free kick. Bostock hits it. Oh, it's an absolute belter into the corner, and Bostock breaks the deadlock in this top of the table tussle. He hit it left-footed and it flew into the net, and it's Wrexham 0, Notts County 1.
What a pure bit of class, you have to say. It's in a perfect position for him, the wall as well. What he did do just before the free kick, he moved the ball back about 6-8 inches back from where he had put it for the referee to mark the 10 yards. It just gives you that little bit extra height to take, and it's left-footed, starts it at the keeper, brings it, drifts it away from the keeper, over the wall, into the corner. It's a brilliant free kick, and Wrexham 1-0 down.
Well, that is the new record for the league. It's Notts County's 107th goal, but forget the records. This is all about what happens on the day, and they have a vital advantage at the interval. The John Bostock free kick, it was a super strike. Foster left stranded at half time. It's Wrexham 0, Notts County 1.
The Wrexham players deep in conversation with the officials as they leave the field. The Wrexham faithful at the racecourse letting their feelings known, but he can't argue with that bit of quality from John Bostock. That is the difference between the sides at half time. Andy Morrell, is that what Wrexham have deserved? Because Notts County look like to have played the better football this afternoon.
Yeah, they've been really good with the ball, but in that final third they haven't asked that many questions of Wrexham. They've not got had any shots on target of any note, any chances of any note. That's the first shot on target, and what a brilliant piece of quality. You have to hands down to Bostock, sets it up, and a beautifully curled free kick into the top corner. Wrexham just on that fine line of so many times of that through ball in and getting a chance to play and getting in on the keeper. It just takes that little bit of quality on that pass to get over to get those chances.
Pinpoint amid the pressure from Notts County. 1-0 the lead at the racecourse. More from Andy and from Rob. But let's head to the DW Stadium. Wigan Athletic trail Swansea City by 2 goals. Joe Pirro with 2 of them. It should be more though, shouldn't it, Andy Robinson?
It could be 3 and 4. If I'm going to be honest, Chris, it's been an absolute masterclass from Swansea in that first 45 minutes, but just needs to touch on the goals, Chris. The goals are unbelievable, well worked from the left hand side. There's like carbon copy goals. I'm going to be completely honest, the play and the movements and the rotation of the Swansea team to create this chance for Joe Pirro, and then 2 similar finishes on the right hand side of the box, both into the bottom right hand side of the corner. And he actually in between all that, he had a penalty shot which was a nailed on penalty for Swansea, but absolute masterclass from Russell Martin and the players today, and taking nothing away from them. I know Wigan are struggling and all that, but Swansea have just put them to the sword today, Chris.
Yeah, Swansea in the live table 9 points off the playoffs. Well, you never know. Wigan 8 points from safety. Wigan among the clubs not winning at the bottom end of the table. None of the clubs below Cardiff winning at the moment, but Cardiff aren't winning. Goalless at half time against Sunderland at the Cardiff City Stadium. Sunderland with a goal disallowed. Nathan Blake, Sabri Lamucci clearly not happy with what he's seen given the changes he's made even before the first half was out.
Yeah, he made some changes around about 35 minutes. Chris wasn't happy at all. He's surprised in mine. He took off Ojo, who wasn't having his greatest game, but Philogene, who's been the bright spark for Cardiff of late, but just whipped them off after 35-36 minutes, made the changes, put Renamoto and Simpson on, but Cardiff don't play any sort of pattern. They don't have any sort of pattern to play. I think they've only had like 25% possession. Well, it's 23. I'm trying to push it up a little to be kind, but they've had like 25% possession. But I have to say, Sunderland, for all their possession, all their quality football between the 2 18-yard boxes, they haven't had a lot. They've had 1 shot on target, so not really threatened Cardiff's goal. It's been poor from Cardiff City, I have to say. I can't say they've played well, not even in patches, but listen, the changes have been made, and let's hope second half brings a big improvement for Cardiff.
Let's see if Salamucci is inspired. Cardiff 1 point off the bottom 3 as it stands. Newport trailing Stockport at half time as well. Kevin Ratcliffe, the former Wales captain's watching that one. Kev, is that deserved?
Yeah, I should say so. I mean, they've been second best for most of the first half. A big problem for them was in midfield with Crowsdale running the show. I mean, they set it up with the way they played is 3-4-3 3, and it just wasn't working. Croasdale being left alone in midfield, so they had to drop then. I don't understand it. McNeil, who's been brought in here as a centre forward, to drop in and play as a number 10, but picking up Croasdale when they haven't got the ball. It just looks very, very new to him. Hasn't done it before. So tactically, Graham Coughlin's got it wrong today. So I think he's got to make changes at half time, because it's just not right. I mean, they've got some quality in the side. Wharton, who scored 2 goals today, cracker of a header, and the other one where he's turned and he shot. There's nobody within 2 yards away from him. They've got time to close him down. They're not closing him down. So there's a lot of hard thinking to do at half time, but I'm expecting changes.
Let's see if they come then. Full second half commentary on the way, and a roundup of the rest of the day's sport after the latest news and travel. But first, the weather with Derek Brockway. Afternoon, Derek.
Afternoon, Chris. Well, we've got some rough weather to come over the next couple of days. That means some heavy rain, strong winds and gales, not very spring-like at all. It's blustery out there this afternoon with sunny intervals and scattered showers. Some of the showers heavy with a risk of hail and thunder, and it does feel cool in the gusty wind, the temperature around 10 to 13 Celsius. Staying breezy through tonight with clear spells and scattered showers. Quite cool as well, temperatures inland dipping as low as 3 or 4 Celsius. Tomorrow morning, the best part of the day, bright and breezy, some sunshine, just 1 or 2 showers, but rain will spread from the southwest during the afternoon. Some of the rain heavy, the wind increasing as well, with temperatures reaching 9 to 12 Celsius. Tomorrow evening, the heavy rain will clear, but staying windy overnight with scattered showers. A cold night too, the showers wintry on higher ground. Wednesday looks unsettled, sunny intervals and showers. Even some longer spells of rain, hail and thunder possible, and cold enough for snow on the mountains. And watch out for gales in the south and west with gusts 45 to 60 miles per hour. Thursday will be less windy with sunshine and showers. And that's the latest forecast.
Thanks, Derek. It's up to date on the weather. Let's get up to date on the traffic and the travel. Johnny Retner can help us.
Chris, hello, good afternoon, thank you very much. Big problems continue for the A470. Both sides of the carriageway still cordoned off along the stretch between Clanroost right the way through to the A5 junction and the Waterloo Bridge just south of Betws-y-Coed. Is at the scene of a collision where recovery works taking place. All the surrounding routes continue to struggle. Now, the A55 still very slow if you're heading east towards the English-Welsh border, on towards Chester, if you like. It's taking about 25 minutes in those patchy queues, anywhere from 31 west of Holywell right the way through to the Ulo Loop. Still seeing congestion if you're heading out of Wales into England on the M4. Back end of the queue, from what I can see on the live Traffic Wales cameras, is as you come off the Prince of Wales Bridge towards the M5. And of course, once you get onto the M5, very slow after that earlier collision just northwest of Bristol, heading south near to the Portishead turn-off as you come off the Avonmouth Bridge. Still seeing some congestion for the M4 further along eastbound as you head away from Tredegar Park 28 towards the Bryn Glass tunnels, and it's still slow down the A48 towards the Crosshands roundabout, as is the A465 in the ongoing roadworks north of Merthyr at the Dole-Ice Top roundabout. Finally, turning our attention to the trains, and buses continue to replace Transport for Wales services between Wrexham Central and Bidston. And for now, that's the very latest for you from BBC Radio Wales Travel.
Thanks very much, Johnny. Right, second half's not far away here on Radio Wales Sports, so it's time to get the latest Radio Wales news with Sean Roberts.
Every Wales game live in the Women's Six Nations on FM, digital radio and on BBC Sounds.
This is BBC Radio Wales.
A British-Israeli woman has died after she was shot in a suspected Palestinian gun attack on Friday. Leah D, who was 48, had been in a coma since the shooting in the occupied West Bank. Her 2 daughters, Rina and Maya, were also killed in the attack. The BBC's Lucy Williamson is in Jerusalem.
We've just had a statement through from the Hadassah Hospital in Jerusalem that was treating Lucy D, known as Leah here. The statement says, with her injuries, Lucy D was evacuated by helicopter in a critical condition. They say teams fought for her life over the past few days in the trauma unit, the operating room and the intensive care unit. But despite supreme and unceasing efforts, due to her fatal injury, the team had to determine her death today.
A 38-year-old man being arrested on suspicion of murder following the death of a man in Swansea. Police were called to a property on New Orchard Street yesterday lunchtime. The family of the 61-year-old victim are being supported by specially trained officers. Police say at least 5 people have been killed and 6 others injured in a shooting in the US city of Louisville. A police officer is among those who've been hurt. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has given his clearest indication yet that he intends to stand in next year's US presidential election. During an interview with NBC, he said he's planning to run, but isn't yet ready to make a formal announcement. Ceredigion Council has caused concern among boat owners by significantly increasing their mooring costs. Fees for boats kept in the harbours at Aberaeron and Newquay have increased by more than 30% since last summer. Jonathan Price-Jones says the latest fee of more than £700 is unreasonable.
We don't expect to have the use of moorings for free. We expect to pay a fair share. The question is, what is the fair share, and why are we being asked repeatedly to pay way above the rate of inflation?
BBC Radio Wales. For an update anytime, ask your smart speaker to play BBC News for Wales. It's coming up to 3 minutes past 4.
Live football on BBC Radio Wales Sport.
Thanks very much, Sean. You're up to date here on Radio Wales. Chris Wathen with you, ready for the second halves on Radio Wales Sport. It is absolutely hammering down now at the racecourse, even blowing in away from the stand. Wrexham trail Notts County in this huge showdown at the top of the National League by a goal to nil. Cardiff City goalless against Sunderland in the other of our games this afternoon. Bettenouche Swansea 2-0 up against Wigan. Newport County trail Stockport by 2-0. Importantly for Cardiff, they are 1 point outside the bottom 3 in the live table. Swansea at the 13th, as I did say, 9 points off the playoffs with 5 games to play. Earlier, Blackburn and Huddersfield drew 2-2. West Brom 2-1 up against QPR. Goalless between Preston and Reading. Luton 1, Blackpool 1. They're the scores that matter at the bottom. Right, but I believe the teams are back out on their way out at the DW Stadium. So listeners on FM and DAB across South West Wales, you have Wigan against Swansea with Andy Robinson and Bryn Thomas. Cardiff Sunderland still yet to get underway. They're still to get underway here at the racecourse, where Wrexham are taking on Notts County, and Stockport Newport coming up on 95.9 FM in the Newport area. But Cardiff Sunderland ready to go on FM and DAB in South East Wales. Don't forget, you can keep us wherever you go this afternoon on BBC Sounds. We're sticking with Wrexham, and you will get regular updates of all our games during our commentary of Wrexham Notts County. Andy Morell is alongside me here. The teams have had their chance to think again. Have Wrexham got too pumped up for this? And I'm looking at Paul Mullen leading from the front. I know he's all action. It feels like they know it's a pressure game, and it's letting them affect their performance.
Yeah, well, they're never really a real passing possession team. They do move the ball well, but they are a little bit more direct than a Notts County. So I don't think there's any problems with the way that they've played in the first half. They just haven't had that quality, that moment of in possession where they were able to thread a ball through with real quality to put them in on goal. However, they are a little bit too eager up front to run in behind, because they're going in and they're getting caught offside fair bit, which is a Notts County ploy. But if they can just be a little bit more take a bit more care over that, and take a step towards their goal before they go in, then I think they've got a chance of getting in and breaking this offside.
There we are. For a reminder then, if you want Wigan against Swansea, that's on FM and DAB across South West Wales. Cardiff Sunderland on FM and DAB across South East Wales. And Stockport against Newport, 95.9 FM in the Newport area. Regular updates of all our games on the rest of FM, DAB, digital television, 882 medium wave, and on BBC Sounds doing commentary of Wrexham Notts County. It is all here on Radio Wales Sport, and once again, it's game time.
Yes, welcome back to the racecourse. In fact, welcome to about 3 foot away from where Chris Wathen is. We are perched in the grandstand here. Lovely view, but it's teeming down with rain. And at the moment, Andy Morell, former Wrexham player and manager, Notts County are raining on the Wrexham parade.
Yep, the one moment of quality, I suppose, in that first half has come from John Bostock just before half-time with a free kick from 25 yards out, but a brilliant execution. Could have gone either way. O'Brien going with his right foot would have been over the wall, bending it back in towards the goalkeeper, but Bostock with his left foot is able to take it, hit it straight towards Foster in goal, which then would drift it away into that far corner, which is exactly what happens. It's a really good finish, and that's the moment of quality in between a compulsive game and a compelling game between two really good teams.
That's a great word, compelling. It's absolutely right, absolutely correct. Other than there's not been that many goal-mouth and goal chances, and you've got the two best strikers outside the Football League on show here, and they've hardly had a shot between them.
I think that's Macaulay Langstaff for you. He doesn't really get involved in build-up play. That is his job. They were speaking about him before the game, where he used to do a lot of running. He was in the channels, he was everywhere, but he's really restricted his game to just in between the box and just stay in there and let the others do that business for you, and they'll put it on a plate. You be the one that taps it in, and he certainly does that. So he doesn't get many touches in the game, a bit like Haaland, I suppose, at City. But what he does do is when it is put in the right areas, he finishes it.
As third place Woking go one up against Southend, mind you, third place Woking at the moment are 25 points adrift of the second place team, but it's big for them to stay in that third place because you get home advantage in the playoff semi-final. And this is what both sides are trying to avoid going into the playoffs. Notts County have been in the last 3, Wrexham have been in 5 since they're doing their 15-year tenure in the 5th tier. They've got plenty of work to do here. Some say winner takes all. I don't quite think that, but you definitely put yourself in pole position if you win this, and Wrexham are trailing 1-0 courtesy of that John Bostock goal. No changes in the sides at half time. So running through the teams as Notts County play from right to left, playing from towards the open cop end. Wrexham in their red shirts and white shorts, Notts County in their black and white striped shirts, black shorts and black socks. As the rain disappears for a while, it's summer rain, as in rain showers, sun showers, as Foster clears, headed back into the Wrexham half and then prodded forward by Palmer, but then driven forward for Mullin. First chance of him, he's offside again though. That was a regular occurrence in the first half. Let me just give you the Wrexham team. It's Foster in goal, O'Connell, Tozer and O'Connor, the 3 centre-backs, Barnett and Mendy the wing-backs, Cannon, Jones and Lee in midfield, Palmer and Mullin up front, and Notts County have Slocum in goal, Bajrami, Rawlinson and Cameron, Naman and Chickson the wing-backs, Palmer and Bostock, with O'Brien and Ruben Rodriguez in midfield, and they're playing in behind Macaulay Langstaff. Now, something's been said on the side, and Phil Parkinson, the referee, the Wrexham manager, has been shown a yellow card.
So I think he's mentioned to the linesman that just gave the offside that's quite close to him. I don't think he was particularly happy with that one. I think that's a tight decision by all accounts.
So tempers are fraying on the side. It's been a bit feisty in the middle.
But when you're playing this kind of football that Wrexham are, which is right on the edge, right on the line.
Oh, it's handball against Bostock. If the referee didn't see it, the crowd did, and he's given it. Free kick taken quickly. Mullen could be in here, heads it forward, but Slocum, just inside his penalty area, collects.
Again, exactly what we were talking about, that transition. If you can get the ball down and you look for it quickly, then you can cause and ask a lot of problems of this defence. And it's Mullin again, it just skids off the surface with this rain, and he flicks it on rather than being able to take it on his chest. But again, really good thinking. That's the way that you're going to get in.
Bostock was taken out by O'Connell then late. Free kick Notts County just inside their own half. Queen's Park Rangers pull back to 2-2 in the championship. 1-0 Notts County here. Bostock the goal scorer in injury time of that first half. Palmer shows intent to put pressure on Slocum, but the experienced keeper clears it away. O'Connor returns it. Palmer's offside. O'Brien ensures it doesn't get to him anyway. And it's played back to Slocum once more. 3 minutes into the second half on BBC Radio Wales. Remember, Notts County started the day ahead of Wrexham only on goal difference. They are both amazingly on 100 points. Naman nips past one but runs into Mendy. Wrexham win the ball back. Cannon in midfield, plays it short to Jones. Jones brings in Barnett right hand side. Jones goes on the run down the right hand side. James Jones plays it for Chancellor Mullen. It's 1-1. Paul Mullen, no mistake from 12 yards, and the racecourse erupts in elation.
The referee's talking to his linesman, I think.
He is.
But it's a goal.
It is a goal. Notts County complained, but Wrexham are level. Jones made it with the fierce run down the right side, and it was a clinical finish, as you'd expect from Paul Mullen, who makes it goal number 44 this season.
Well, it's good. It's quality down this side. Ball out to Ryan Barnett. Barnett's ball in behind for Jones, the runner that we spoke about. And he plays it first time into a really good area. And it's Mullin on Besrami, I think it is, before the cross comes in. It's just a little tangle of legs, but it frees him up to just be one-on-one with the keeper. And Mullin doesn't miss them. First time, hits it sweet into the bottom right-hand corner, past the keeper, and 1-1.
Well, it's game on again, and listen to the noise at the racecourse. We thought before the game maybe a draw would suit Wrexham more than Notts County, but they won't sell for a draw now. Paul Mullen, an extraordinary season. Puts Wrexham level, as you'd expect, with basically his first clear chance.
Well, it's lifted the roof off, hasn't it?
Yeah. And interestingly, Macaulay Langstaff hasn't had one chance yet. Plenty of time left though. 1-1. And that helps the team talk.
Well, certainly I think that the two front men have gone pressing a little bit harder, a little bit quicker in the first 5 minutes of this second half. They've gone putting a little bit more pressure on the keeper, a little bit more pressure on the back three, not enabling them to play forward a little bit. But Notts County are still going to do it. They're still going to try. And that's what makes it so compelling, isn't it?
Rodriguez on the ball again. This time he's robbed though by Elliot Lee. Enables O'Connor, the left centre back, to drive up towards halfway. Slides into a challenge on halfway. Wins a free kick. Wrexham are anxious to take this quickly. Mullen takes it from about 8 yards in front of where it should be. I know he's going to get away with that. Good thinking.
But it's O'Connor, isn't it? On the Lee does ever so well, gets a little toe on it just outside the Wrexham box, and O'Connor then is able to get it and just travels with it, keeps travelling up to the halfway line. The high line of Notts County, they stay. Mullins run offside but then stayed, and it's a little push, a little clip on O'Connor that gives Wrexham the free kick.
Woking have been pegged back by Southend. It's 1-1 there now. There's a Notts County player's just had treatment. I think it's Rodriguez.
I think it's a bit of blood, I think, potentially.
Yeah.
Which makes him have to go off.
Well, this place is alive again. Rodriguez is holding a handkerchief to his mouth. I think he's okay. Doesn't want to look in the mirror tomorrow, though.
Had a few of them in my day, as you can tell from my face.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. Free kick taken into the Notts County penalty area. Palmer is making sure it's not easy to clear, and it's not. Barnett can cross from the right hand side. Well, and no any of that one. Elliot Lee picks it up, but it's broken to Rodriguez, who's back on the pitch. Lee slides in. It's taken up by Langstaff. Langstaff hardly seen her in the first half. Palmer now down the left hand side. Wide to Chickson. Chickson on the near side, back to the goal scorer Bostock. Bostock holds it up, nowhere to go, with James Jones in front of him. Preston won up against Reading in the Championship. Palmer again.
Well, Wrexham lost possession there in the middle of the pitch and they were swarmed. Wrexham went for the 3 or 4 players around the...
Basrami was hurried then. Ball is deflected wide, and Wrexham-born Rawlinson picks it up. O'Brien moves forward. down the inside right position, a long way from the penalty area though. Palmer's busy again. Rodrigues drops short, feeds it back to Palmer, who's got Naman waiting on the right side. They're making progress down that far side. Naman on the overlap, Mendy has to track it and does so. He's pinned near his own goal line, and that's going to be a Notts County throw in a decent position.
They play that so well. The ball goes into Mane's feet. The little 1-2 around the corner. They back his pace. Mendy's quick, but so's Mane, and he has to put it out for a throw in again.
The man with the throw, cut out by O'Connor, out for another throw. Namane catches it after it's gone behind. 1-1, 9 minutes into the second half. An explosive start after the interval by Wrexham with Paul Mullins. 44th goal and his 35th in the league. And he never misses a game, he's an ever present. It's ridiculous.
I think Langstaff and him have only missed one game all season, haven't they? It's
amazing,
remarkable.
isn't it? Notts County play the ball short, passing through. Rodrigues has to break through a tackle, but wins the second header. Bostock now back to his back line. Cameron, touch forward to the Albanian. Bajrami picks out Palmer just inside the Wrexham half. Elliot Lee is scurrying back there. The man's on his right side again, level with the Wrexham penalty area. Back to Palmer. Palmer thought about crossing, slides it short, goes to the return from Rodrigues. Mendy reads that, balloons the ball up in the air, but a poor header away by Jones, who set up the Wrexham goal. Bostock, White to Chickson. Bring you in a moment, Andy, but this is dangerous for Wrexham. They can't get the ball at the moment.
They keep it moving really well, don't they, Notts County? Just move it on again, next one, move it on again.
Was naughty from O'Connell. Referee didn't see that, I was right by him. And then the ball goes back to Slocum. That's good defending by Wrexham, and Mullen is putting pressure on Bajrami, but he feeds Rodrigues. Naman is there again. Little click forward down that right side by Rawlinson. Rodrigues goes for it. Mendy puts it up for a throw. Let's head up to Wigan and Bryn Thomas.
57 minutes played here is as it was at half time. It's Wigan 0, Swansea 2. Both goals by Joel Piro. But Wigan should be down to 10 men. Callum Lang yellow carded in the first half. Blatant foul. Referee just turned and walked away. Wigan 0, Swansea 2.
9,924 here. Watching Wrexham 1, Notts County 1. Oh, Naman into the penalty area. Goes to ground, no foul there. Notts County keep the ball though. 1,042 from Notts County. This is Naman again. Takes on Mendy. It's been a brilliant battle on that far side. O'Brien is rushed by the retreating Palmer, but Rawlinson back to Bajrami on halfway. They work it really well. You have to say they play some good stuff, don't they?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to watch. There's always a player ready for them to take the ball, whether supporting or ahead of them. They're like round the corners, real good triangles.
O'Brien now feeds it to Naman, goes past Mendy. Mendy just stabs in a foot. It's a Notts County corner. They're first of this second half, and they've responded well to the equaliser.
Well, they've penned Wrexham in, to be fair. When you're penned in and can't get the ball back, you struggle to get out of your area, but you've just got to keep working hard, stay in your shape.
Corner taken short. Rodrigues tried to feed in Mendy. O'Brien picks up the clearance. He's lost it though. Chance of Wrexham to break maybe. Long ball forward. Mullins onside, but he was just off balance. And the header into O'Brien. Tough handball from the Wrexham fans, not given by Scott Tallis. Ball into the Wrexham box, and Foster plunges on that. Let's find out what's happening at Cardiff. Mark Poyser.
Sunderland take the lead, deservedly so on the hour mark. Pritchard's free kick tipped onto the post by Alsop. Sirkin taps in on the line, and in terms of the balance of possession, it is no more than Sunderland deserve.
Yeah, you have to say, Mark, disappointing. You know, Pritchard lined it up. It's on the left-hand side. It's a good, 25, 26 yards out on the corner 18-yard box. You're thinking to yourself, well, it's too much wind. It's swirling too much for him to take a shot on. And he doesn't. He does. He takes the shot on, does Pritchard. Drags it towards the near post. You have to say Alsop's got to do better. He's got to push that round the corner or even catch it. But he doesn't. Pushes it onto the post. And then it's a goal.
It is Cardiff City 0, Sunderland 1.
It's 1-1 here. Didn't miss anything then, as Wrexham win back possession in their own half. It really is a fiercely fought game. This ball over the top, this time from Jones, but pulls out for a throw-in. And Newport still 2-0 down at Stockport. And the man has to go a long way back to take the throw.
He hasn't been so deep yet, has he?
Yeah, it's not the first he's been back.
A chance for Mullin just in that brief spell of play just before last minute, as James Jones gets the regain in the centre of the park and plays a really nice pass into Mullin's feet, and he's probably 22 yards out on the angle, goes for the left to right with the outside of his boot, but just hits it straight at the keeper. The keeper, body behind it, just bounces in front of him and takes it in, but seen him score from there before.
Barnett has to turn away from Bostock. O'Connell chips it down the right side. Mullin is going to get there. Slocum gets there first though. He's 34, Sam Slocum, and he's back in the team after missing the last 3. Got injured at Scunthorpe in March, but he's been worth his weight so far.
If James Jones had a little bit of vision there, he could have got the quick throw in from Mullin, because Slocum's miles out of his area. If he could have taken a touch, he could have probably had a shot on goal with no keeper in.
Instead, they're going to take a Ben Tozer howitzer throw from the right hand side, level with the penalty spot. It's a good one into that 6-yard box. Slocum punches it away, only half clear though, picked up by Elliott. Now Barnett can cross from the right side. Oh, a thunderous shot against the bar, and it's still not cleared. That was O'Connell with the shot. That was in all the way, but it just an inch or so too high.
Wow. Well, what a strike. They've both got a hold of each other, and as he's falling over, he's hit the volley, laces, toe down on the sidewinder, and it has hit the crossbar. Keeper's just put a hand up and just bounced straight back out. What a chance, what a strike.
Got away with that one, Notts County, and they're going to have to defend another Tozer long throw, as the vocal Wrexham fans behind that goal get more and more excited. Headed out only as far as Namanu, helps it forward, and Macaulay Langstaff wins the first header, then chases possession. Oh, Foster, terrible mistake, but Langstaff's instinctive header goes well wide, with Foster miles out of his goal.
Well, similar situation, he's got the ball, all he has to do is take a touch and play it out wide to O'Connell or Barnett, who's given him an angle. Said he goes first time straight on the head of Langstaff, and if he redirects it, it's a goal.
Yeah, he did try to direct it, but it went well wide of the goal, and you couldn't even say that was a chance. But good ball forward, looking for Mullin again. Mendy follows up, charges into the penalty area, has it just taken off his foot as he gets there. Mullin has it left side now, wants to keep it in on that far side. Palmer gives away the throw, and it's going to be another Ben Tozer throw. This time from the left hand side, the racecourse erupts again. They've got the scent of blood now, haven't they, Andy Morrell?
Yeah, the tails are certainly up since the goal, bar a couple of minutes where Notts County had really good possession.
These are tense moments in the title race. Tozer long throw again. Slocum comes out for it and gets there. Oh, Mendy, I don't think he's going to get away with that. Brought down Langstaff, made no attempt to get the ball, and he's going to be the third Wrexham player to go with his manager in the Scott Tallis's notebook. Why didn't he just go for it?
I don't know why he just didn't go to the ball and head it back to Barnett. If Barnett has to come onto it and gets it wrong, they're free to go. It's Mendy's ball all day long, but he decides to leave it. Little communication, he's having a bit of a moan up. Tozer's telling him, get yourself out there and do your job.
Owen O'Connell had scent of his second Wrexham goal then, joined from Charlton on transfer deadline day, but it was a fierce volley. Oh, he has to defend as Notts County swing their free kick out to the right hand side. Naman gets past Mendy, then runs into O'Connor, but the header back towards Naman again. O'Connor should keep this in, or maybe he'll let it dribble out, and he does. So 1-1, Andy Morrell, how are you looking at it?
Yeah, well, certainly Wrexham Crowder up in the ascendancy. Again, Notts County though were able to take the sting out of the game with their possession and the way that they play. But if Wrexham can keep their foot on it, keep that tempo going, keep bombarding with those long throws. To be fair, it's a sensational volley. Centre half, you're not really renowned for that type of finish, but he gets a brilliant connection on it.
That's the big clearance as well to Bajrami, the Albanian. Square to Rawlinson. It's his hometown club. Rodriguez slipped as he went for that, and Wrexham have a chance here. Palmer could be in. Bajrami gets back there and then knocks it past his goalkeeper, but Palmer can't get there, and it's cleared away. But they were exposed then as O'Connor wins the ball back for Wrexham, sends Barnett down the right side. Crunching tackle on Barnett, loses possession, and cool as you like, Chickson plays it short to Bostock, and they're playing with it on the edge of their own penalty area, and I don't think Wrexham are going to get away with that, and that's a free kick. Stockport have a third against Newport County, but here is 1-1, Andy Morrell.
Yeah, well, they went hunting it. Turnover in transition, and Wrexham went hunting it. Ryan Barnett really positive in his press. Just a little shoulder in the back on Cameron to give a free kick away. Don't want to take your eyes off this one.
If anything could happen, Slocum long ball forward. O'Connell's under that, not the best header, but Jones clears it forward, looking for the roving Mullen. Got there the second time, and then it's a free kick given away by Palmer on Cannon. Palmer put a boot in. Phil Parkinson complaining.
Well, that's 50-50 for me. It's close. Palmer just gets the wrong second of the ball, because Cannon does a brilliant little side touch, but then Cannon's reaction, a couple of rolls, a couple of hold the ankles, and it's a yellow card. I don't think it's a bit harsh maybe, but the referee, off the back of Cannon's reaction, goes to his pocket.
Second Notts County player in the book, along with Rawlinson, O'Connor, Mullen, Mendy, and the manager Phil Parkinson.
Got enough room for you on your
Well, yeah, I'm
sheet.
starting to run out of yellow card room. Sort this out, ref. But then you'd expect it in a game like this, when there was so much at stake at the top of the National League. It's been well worthy of its top billing so far. It's on a knife edge against two sides who can only be separated at the moment by goal difference. Although Wrexham do have one more game left. Palmer is the offside.
They're so tight. Those are so tight. The linesman's got, 65, 70 yards to have a look at that.
Yeah, it's
There's
a different lines
11,
half,
12 players in the way.
It's a different lines on this half, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Same decisions though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, you sound like a manager.
And listen, they are off. They are.
Yeah.
Some are offside. You've got to just hold your run. Be as patient as you possibly can. So difficult because you're so eager to get in there.
Linesman looks as if he's got that one wrong again, according to our producer, Radio Rod, who's eagle-eyed on these things with the help of a monitor. 1-1. Clearing up now, not so much rain. Naman, he's been busy all afternoon. Bostock, who scored the Notts County goal, centre field, clips it out left, forces Rodriguez, who switched to the left side now to retreat a few yards. That's an interesting move. He's on the ball again, Rodriguez, Portuguese player, been around, played in the Netherlands, Den Bosch.
Yeah, they've changed. Bostock and Rodriguez, they've swap sides from their normal position, if you like, from the first half, just to maybe ask another couple of questions of Jones this time, and of O'Connell. Does O'Connell come out to Rodriguez like O'Connor did in the first half?
And they're about to make a change on Notts County.
Jim O'Brien.
So O'Brien is coming off. And Austin going on. Sam Austin signed from Kidderminster on a 3-year deal in July. Apologies if you can hear the fruity language behind us. He's having not a very warm send-off. Is O'Brien. He was one of those rested for... As Mullen gets in behind the Notts County defence, puts the ball across the box, and it's thundered home by Jacob Mendy, and it's advantage Wrexham in the title race. Mullen this time the provider, crossfield ball, and Mendy absolutely walloped it into the corner, and it's Wrexham 2, Notts County 1. They've turned this game on its head in the second half.
It's so simple though. That's the really strange things about it. It's a free kick. Everybody's had a little drink and a rest up. The referee's had a bit, and it's a simple ball down the side of it. It's Mullen. What he does is he stays away of the middle three, so he's on the furthest man, and then he makes his run. And what he does is he steps it back, like I was saying in the first half, to make his run into that channel. The ball's just rolled into there, and he's into the edge of the box, and he sees Mendy. It's probably the first time Mendy's had been able to get up the pitch with Nami playing so high, and Mullen rolls a perfect ball down that corridor of uncertainty, and Mendy on the back post on his favoured left foot just hits it back across Slocum the keeper and into the back of the net. So simple.
Well, his last goal was against Dorking, was the Spaniard Jacob Mendy in September, but he may not score a more important goal than that in his life. Advantage Wrexham and some.
It's great vision as well from Mullen, isn't it? He could have quite easily took another touch in and had a hit from on a difficult angle, but he sees Mendy making really good strides. Name not in the same half as him, and it's a really good finish. Slocum coming across, he can't stop his momentum from carrying him to that near post, hits it straight across to that far side.
Wrexham about to make a change as well. Sam Dolby on for Ollie Palmer. Palmer's run his heart out there on his return to the team.
Well, I think you could tell that from the second half. I think that Parky would have said to him, just go full tilt, go and press them, because I mentioned it just after the start, they've gone pressing a little bit harder, the front two, and you can do it, and if you goose, we can take you off with 20. We've got Dolby who's itching to get involved, and that's exactly what's happened. And well played Ollie Palmer, who's done really well today.
Yeah, Palmer makes way for Sam Dolby. It's hardly a reduction in firepower. He's got 8 goals this season as Dolby. Mind you, Palmer's on 17, but you know where I'm coming from. So it's 2-1 Wrexham, and they are back to the top of the National League table with a huge 108 goals. The record, it keeps swapping on the most goals ever scored in the National League. The record now is 108. And they're seeking more. First touch for Dolby down this near side, but he just can't pick it up from
the important
James
thing now is for them to keep their heads. Do not do anything silly. There's a couple on yellow cards. Keep your heads, but keep that same intensity in your play, because if you stop, Notts County are good enough to play.
Well, they've got to think about something now as well, haven't they? They were in easy street at half time, but this game has been transformed, and Wrexham have really gone at them in this second half, helped by an early Paul Mullen goal. That always helps, a goal to give you momentum, but they built on that. A series of long throws and pressure building on this Notts County side.
I think it comes just after half-time. The way that Wrexham came out, you know, they've had that setback just before half-time, but Mullen and Palmer, they've gone for these centre-halves, which makes the people behind them go, right, I'm coming as well with you, I'm going to back you up. It enables the back three to get up the pitch, and the whole squad is at a different tempo.
And they haven't lost an away game in the league since September. They lost to Dorking of all places. And they're not out of this one yet. It's 2-1, but we've seen how this game can change. And both these sides have got goals in them, but one more for Wrexham you would feel could be decisive. Rodriguez wins the ball back from a little pedantic Cannon then. And a good run into the penalty area. Cross is punched away by Foster. It was Carl Cameron, the big centre half, who burst into the, well, loped into the penalty area, really.
Yeah, just wriggled through O'Connell and Jones. It's a really good cross right down that corridor again, but it's a touch, tiniest of hands from Foster that takes it away from Langstaff. Langstaff hobbling in the middle. He was millimetres away from putting that in.
Throwing on the far side, taken. Notts County have got men going forward here. Langstaff into the penalty area. Foster saves. Sorry, it wasn't Langstaff.
That's 2 in 2 for Foster. He gets an important touch on the cross from Cameron.
It was
and then
Austin.
This time, Austin wriggles into the box, has a shot from 12 yards on the angle, stands up well.
Corner taken, cross in, free header. It's 2-2. Carl Cameron with a stooping header. And this game has been changed again. Wrexham went to sleep at the corner. Carl Cameron was all by himself. And this is what we expected of this titanic tussle. Goals, goals, goals. It's Wrexham 2, Notts County 2.
Well, I don't know who switched off from the set piece, but it's a corner. They play it short. We spoke about that. And it's Cameron round the back. He's got the half the penalty area to himself. I don't know if that's Dolby maybe with the change from Palmer, but that's sloppy. His concentration, so important.
Well, we go into the last 15 minutes. It's ding dong, it's seesaw, however you want to describe it. Slocum miles out of his penalty area to clear the long ball forward. It's not a bad clearance either. O'Connell's forced back towards his own penalty box. Cool thinking by the defender. Just flicks it over the top of the advancing Notts County players for Barnett. And I think Austin is offside. Dolby is offside, and he is.
Just needed to play it slightly earlier. Barnett just getting head up because Dolby had made the run in. Then he has to check.
More changes for Notts County. 2 in the offing. So Naman has been replaced by Jody Jones. And it's Scott
Rodriguez
for Rodriguez. You surprised by that?
Well, I think they've both been good, both players. But you're bringing on somebody that's played in the Championship regularly and somebody that's got 14 goals. It's not a bad swap, is it?
Kedwin Scott. Sounds a Welsh name, but he's not. And Jody Jones, on loan from Oxford, was at West Ham. He's a Malta international. So there's going to be any change. In fact, it looks to me as if they're going for it with those substitutions. 2-2. Can Wrexham catch them at the other end, though? It's been a brilliant game, man, you have to say.
Yeah,
lived up to the billing, hasn't it?
Well, the first half was so intriguing in the way that both teams set about it.
Cameron.
Certainly this half, though, I think Notts County have gone a little bit more direct. They haven't passed as much through the midfield three. They've certainly gone a little bit more direct to their wing backs, etc.
Chickson has actually had to come back on to halfway, and that's giving away a throw into Wrexham on halfway. Unbelievable stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Langstaff, who still hasn't had a shot on goal, I don't think. Well, O'Connell, that's good work by him. Chips it over the top, chases his own ball, crosses into the middle. Bazrami presents it to Mullen. Mullen sends it up, and it's 3-2. Mullen teed up Elliot Lee, and Wrexham are back in front. You just cannot take your eyes off this. Elliot Lee with a simple tap in after Mullen. Well, I thought he was going to shoot himself, but he just squared it, and this game turns again. It's Wrexham 3, Notts County 2.
Well, if you watch this goal back, look out for the bit of ingenuity and invention by Ewan O'Connell, because he's got the ball, he's got nobody, there's such a high line. He decides to flick it over the centre halves down this right hand side and run onto it himself. He plays a through ball to himself. Off he goes into that right hand wing channel, and then he gets his head up, brilliantly fires it in, and it looks like Barami has got it all set to go, and he can just clear it, but he gets it with his feet all muddled up, which sets it up for Mullin. Mullin's 8 yards out with his back to goal. He can spin on it, but he decides to just lay a really nice ball to Elliot Lee, who then just passes it into the bottom corner past Slocum for 3. Epic 12 minutes coming.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. You should be a commentator. Oh no, don't. Crossfield ball headed away by O'Connell, who set that up in the way that Andy Morrell so nicely described. Loses possession there though. Bostock, who gave Notts County the lead, seems an age ago, just before half time, but since then Wrexham have regained the lead, equalised, regained the lead, then were pegged back and has got the lead again as Jones tries to make his way down the right hand side against the second Wrexham scorer, Mendy. Wow, brilliant stuff. I make it 3 goals in 8 minutes.
Strap yourself in. I think it's going to be
well, I was going to say you couldn't script this in a Hollywood movie, but actually it probably would make a Hollywood movie. So here we go again. Chickson still forward. Cameron will put his side level, but only for 3 minutes as it turned out. Wrexham have retreated into a defensive mode now. Every player back in their own half. Burst forward, cross into the middle. It's headed away, and it should be cleared further by Jones, Austin, Dolby and Mullen give chase. Mullen in particular wasn't going to get near that though. And Notts County build patiently again.
Yeah, I think Wrexham working so hard to try and nullify these passing lanes that when you do get a chance to get the ball back, you've got to take care of it and take a pass. You can't just be playing it forward. I know that's potentially the on for another goal, but if you can take a pass, they don't have the ball.
Yeah. Here they come again. Sam Austin cross to Jones. Jones thinks about crossing, goes back though to Rawlinson. Rawlinson plays it out to the left of the Wrexham penalty area. Low shot, pulled well wide by Kedwin Scott.
Ambitious at best. Worked the ball really well onto this Notts County left hand side. Cuts inside. Probably a better option to keep the ball. Decides to shoot. Goes through the legs of Barnett and rolls out for a goal kick. I think you've got to look back in there as well. 2 really key saves by Foster just before the second goal.
Oh, there's somebody down in the middle. Is that Cannon for Wrexham?
Get the gels on, get the drinks on.
Yeah.
Looks like there's going to be another sub. Looks like Luke Young's stripped and been giving his orders.
Well, he's not featured much lately, Luke Young. There's a break here. Let's find out what's happening at Cardiff City. Mark Poyser.
It's still 1-0 to Sunderland, but Cardiff doing all the attacking in search of an equaliser. Just haven't been able to create an opportunity. Cabba always the target. He's missed their best chance in hope of pulling level. It's still Sunderland who lead by 1-0.
And what's happening at Wigan? Bryn Thomas
gives the free kick. We've played 84 minutes here at the DW Stadium. It's Wigan Athletic 0, Swansea City 2. Swansea just controlling the game at the moment. At Joel Piro's 2 goals separating the sides. Wigan 0, Swansea 2.
As Andy Cannon makes way for the Wrexham skipper Luke Young. Mark Lloyd-Williams is watching Stockport Newport. Mark.
7 minutes of the 90 left. It's Stockport County 3, Newport County 0. Jack Stretton with the 3rd goal on 65 minutes. The cross in by Ryan Rydell from the left hand side. 1 touch, second in off the post. So with 6 minutes left, Stockport County 3, Newport County 0.
So that's the latest elsewhere. 7 minutes to go here. There's a push by Dolby. Notts County free kick in their own half. Take it short again. They will not be rushed, this team. And this last 7 minutes or so could well decide which team goes top of the league and into the Football League at the end of the season, and which goes into the lottery of the playoffs. Palmer for Notts County. Jones, no room given to him by Jacob Mendy. Little touch back by Austin for Palmer, but he's robbed by Elliot Lee, who scored such vital goals for Wrexham since he's come in, Andy Morrell.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Right from that first sub appearance, he came on in the first game here and scored 2, changed the game in Wrexham's favour. I think he's been exceptional. The way he plays the game as a striker, you'd just love to play with him, because he always looks for your feet, always looks for that pass in and follow, and you can just play with him, and his execution of his technique to set up goals is brilliant.
Oh, Jones, good move down the right hand side. Chance to cross into the penalty area. Wrexham tried to clear it. O'Connor's blocked actually, and that works out well for them, because Jody Jones got away down that right side then, and just on Elliot Lee. That is his 4th goal in as many games.
Yeah, he's come to the fore when it matters. You know, his low centre of gravity, and I think he's got better and better throughout the season, the fitter he's got, because when he first started, he was only half an hours and 45s and 60s, and as he's got fitter, he can get up and down the pitch. He's done defensive side of it as well as anybody has done in that position, and he just asks so many questions going forward.
So it's 3-2 Wrexham here on BBC Radio Wales. We're into the last 5 minutes. Langstaff chases a long ball forward. Hasn't really had a kick, has he, Macaulay Langstaff? But I hesitate to say that with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, don't.
Lee is onside, is he? No, he's just off. Slocum came out to meet him, thumps it forward. O'Connor thumps the ball away. And Slocum's first touch lets him down for a change. 3-2 Wrexham at the moment, top of the National League with a game in hand. Jones again trying to wriggle his way down the right side, inside to Austin. Austin picks up a good position, a little more forward. Jones wants it on the right wing. Thinks about taking on Mendy. Elliot Lee is there as well, lays it back to Palmer. Palmer crossfield to Cameron, who scored the second goal. Wide to this near side, Kedwin Scott, the other substitute. Cameron lays it across again to his fellow centre-half Bajrami. It was Conor Rawlinson, and he couldn't control it. That is a centre-half's touch.
I keep looking at that clock and it's not moving, Rob. Why is it not going down?
So I don't know what the announcement was. It was greeted with a big cheer from behind us. I can't believe this. 1 or 2 are leaving. Don't do that, my friend. Don't do that. Little lad behind him is shaking his Wrexham flag, but you never know what can happen. Might miss a goal here. As he's burst in the box, Mullen sets it up. Oh, brilliant save by Slocum as Dolby looked to make the final ball.
Well, Mullen will be ruining himself because he'd have think that he'd have taken the shot, but he does the right thing. He rolls it into Dolby's path, and he's on penalty spot. Slocum does ever so well, comes out, narrows the angle. He's got to score to bury this game.
Gets the Wrexham crowd going again, and they have a corner. Right side. 4th for Stockport against Newport. Bad day in the northwest for them. Good day in North Wales for Wrexham. Corner comes in, headed out, and it's off Notts County head. So it's another Wrexham corner, and while they're upfield, the time is ticking for Notts County, who only have 3 games left after this. Wrexham have 4. Corner coming in from the right side again. And it was Mullen who was flying in, just had it taken away from him. If he connected, he was point blank range from 3 yards. Notts County keep the ball in on the far side, still deep in their own right back position. Now they move it up with Cameron. Chickson urges Cameron forward. Wants to go back though. As I keep saying, they won't be rushed. Bostock.
Look at the setup now. There's no player in the centre of the pitch for Notts County. They're all on the outside peripheries trying to get overloads.
Still time. 89 minutes on the clock. Every second will feel like a minute to Wrexham fans. Every minute will feel like an hour. Chickson and Cameron hold on to possession. Langstaff waits on the edge of the box. Little drill through by Palmer. Nice work by Austin. Takes on his own pass. Cross into the penalty area. Cleared away though by O'Connell, who's been immense. It's going to come back towards their penalty area again though. Slight miscue by Chickson. They've got white shirts waiting on the edge of the box as Chickson collects it on the near touchline. Back to Palmer. Bostock wants it short. They go back to halfway though. As Rami, White to Palmer once more. Chickson up ahead, level with the Wrexham penalty area. 3-2 on Radio World Sport. Cameron crosses into the middle, headed up in the air by Tozer. Mendy should keep it in. He blasts it forward. Infield, 6 minutes of added time to play. 6 minutes on the clock. And Bostock commits a stupid foul on Dolby with the ball nowhere near. And Wrexham can relieve the pressure. Andy Morrell.
Well done. When the ball goes back, Wrexham take a step up. Really push the Notts County strikers and wingers up the pitch a little bit, just to be able to push those midfielders on and get those strikers up towards the ball. And then well done, Ben Tozer. 2 important clearances there, right in the middle of the goal. First one from a cross, second one from a header, from a Cameron cross, just flicked out, and Mendy puts his boot through it.
Paul Mullen is the man of the match, given by the sponsors. We're inside the 6 minutes of added time. Mullen this time eluded by... Oh, Mullen nicks it off Cameron into the penalty area. Chance to seal it, but he's just snuffed out. I don't think he knew whether to cross or shoot. I know what he wanted to do, but it was the angle was
he just never had it right under his feet.
Yeah.
But he nicked it brilliantly, goes pressing, gets the ball, and then there isn't anybody in the middle to pass it to. I think probably in the back of his mind, I've passed the last one, and Dolby got it saved. And this time I'm going to go all the way. And to be fair, Cameron does well to get back and just shepherd it out for a corner. Wrexham no rush to take this either.
Corner right side again. The clock ticking away. These are vital seconds. Oh, header's deflected. Back out to the corner, taker O'Connor. Oh, and he slammed that high and well wide and out for a goal kick.
He was rather it there than a break and a counter.
We welcome listeners in the southeast where Cardiff have lost 1-0 at home to Sunderland. It's 3-2 here in this top of the table tussle in the National League. And it's a vital, if they can hold on, it's a vital win for Wrexham. A draw wouldn't be the end of the world, but they've scented victory here through a dynamic second half performance. 103 points, plays 100 at the moment. It's phenomenal figures. The records mean nothing because these two sides are battling to the end. Apologies for Newport listeners in the Newport area. Lost the line to Stockport, but Newport are 4-0 down. Keep the final whistle as we have it. It's 3-2 Wrexham here. Cross into the box. It's all over at Stockport. They've lost 4-0. Here, it's Wrexham 3, Notts County 2. We played 3 of the added 6 minutes, Andy Morrell.
Yeah, they've just got to try and keep the ball at the other end of the pitch. Notts County have got it. Every time it comes into the box, Wrexham clearing it. Can they put the foot on it and just take this last bit of pressure out? I love the way Notts County are playing. They're doubling up either side all the time, creating overloads. Just Wrexham have been clinical, haven't they, in this second half with the pressure.
Cameron into Scott, but O'Connell robs it off and then he wins it. But free kick to Notts County, about 6 yards from the the right corner of the Wrexham penalty area, which means everything is going to be to the right of Bostock or Palmer. So will it be Bostock left-footed cross or Palmer a right-footed in-swinger? We are in the 5th minute of the added 6. Surely if Wrexham can deal with this, a vital victory will be theirs.
Big gap for this left footer, isn't there? That side into Foster's near post.
That level of the penalty spot, aren't they? Palmer leaves it to Bostock in short, picked up, but Notts County are driven away. Bostock picks it up, crosses right-footed into the penalty area, headed back across. Cameron misses his shot. Still not clear by the Wrexham defence. Bostock may fancy his chances. He's going to play it square though to Jones. Jones on the edge of the penalty area. Ball is wide. Cross into the penalty box. Langstaff, shout for handball. Referee doesn't give it.
Penalty.
Oh, it's a penalty. It is a penalty. Notts County they shot it for, is it a penalty? They shot it for handball. The arms went up as a header was going goalwards. Now, has he given it or not? He stopped play. He's given it. It's a handball. It's a penalty for Notts County in the dying seconds of injury time. It was given by his assistant on the far side. I must admit, I did see a hand go up. I think it was a Langstaff header, was it? Well, we know Langstaff doesn't take penalties. So Kedwin Scott with an injury time. It's hit O'Connell's arm. Kedwin Scott in an unnatural position, I'm told. So Scott to tie this tussle up 3-3. Can Ben Foster, out of retirement, be the hero for Wrexham here? He's been in this situation plenty of times. He's 40, could probably do without it at his age. But it's Ben Foster. Wrexham's hope of denying Kedwin Scott. Scott, he took a few steps and then places the ball again. This is nail biting. This is infuriating. Scott steps up. Unbelievable! Made an unbelievable save. Ben Foster, at the age of 40, has given Wrexham a vital point here. What's happening? They want another ball. I think the ball's gone. But Ben Foster has made maybe the most. It's a corner. It's a corner. Bostock takes the corner, headed the cross goal. Should be cleared away now. And Wrexham have won an absolutely titanic battle. The Wrexham players hug Ben Foster. The lead chopped and changed. And the biggest National League game maybe in its history just did not disappoint. Wrexham, after 15 years in the 5th tier, can smell the title, can smell automatic promotion with an absolute utterly astonishing win over their chasing rivals. There's still games to go, but make no mistake, it's Wrexham in pole position because it's finished. Wrexham 3, Notts County 2.
And if you are a newcomer to football, if you are tuning in for the first time because you're interested about the Hollywood glamour of Wrexham, this is what football means. This is what football is all about, and this noise is what it means to Wrexham. The players are celebrating like a cup final. Ben Foster, the returning hero after so long away from the club, after achieving so much. The 40-year-old saving the penalty in the last moment. Well, what scenes, Andy Morrell?
The story's written. It is Hollywood stuff, isn't it? Because step up, big players at big moments. Mullin, second half, has been exceptional. O'Connell, I thought, was outstanding all game, and a harsh handball for the penalty. But Foster, that last minute, and it just shows you the professionalism of this group. Because on the floor out there just before was Mark Howard, who's been dropped for Foster coming in and rolling around with his goalkeeping mate on the floor like they're the besties. And that is exactly how football should be and professionalism of a football team should be. Well done, what a brilliant advert for this league.
What an afternoon, much more reaction to come, and reaction from wins for Swansea and defeat for Cardiff and Newport. We will round up all the day's sport and these incredible scenes after the latest news and travel. But first, the weather with Derek Brockway. It's always sunny in Wrexham, Derek.